Hi, I'm Katie and welcome back to Rain or Shine Gardening. Today is a very exciting day for me where I'm going to expand my gardening into the realm of seed starting. And this is something I have not tackled up until this point. I am a beginner. This is my first time setting up a system, a place in my house for seed starting, and I'm very excited. I did the other day get a big delivery of some seeds that I purchased, so I'll go through those maybe in another video once I start actually getting seeds in soil. But today I am going to walk you through setting up, unboxing, getting my seed starting setup all put together in my house. And I don't have a very big house. So one of the reasons that I did not have a seed starting system and setup before is because I don't have a lot of places to put it. So today I'm going to put it in my dining area in my kitchen. And it's just going to be here for the springtime. It's part of my house, part of what I need to set up for my gardening. We have a pretty small garage that is full of other things, so that's not a space for seeds. And I just thought having it here would be kind of fun for me to be able to check on daily and kind of check the progress out of what's growing and what's sprouting and the excitement of that. But also I have daughters who are 9 and 12 years old, and I thought that they might enjoy getting to keep tabs on what's growing and what's sprouting and follow along my plants in that journey too. So one of the things that also prompted me to jump into the seed starting realm and kind of growing some of my own starts is the amount of money I spent on flowers and annuals last year. Because I don't have my own seed starting setup until today, of course, but since I didn't have that last year, I had to buy all of my starts that were already pre-sprouted, and a lot of them were already blooming. And even just one, if you get a name brand annual in kind of one of those quart-sized containers, it can range anywhere from, I found some at a pretty good deal, like $5.99 a piece, but they can, if you buy them off the website and have them shipped, can be $11.99 or higher, and then you put shipping costs on top of that. So you can see how much those add up really quickly when you're planting all over in your garden. I just thought, hey, the investment of setting up, even a small seed starting area in my house would be a great investment. I can get a lot more variety of annuals, and I can just be really planful on how many things I get and what varieties I get and all of that beyond what's available to me out in the nurseries. Well, of course, I'm going to still be going to the garden centers and picking up a lot of annuals because I just kind of a sucker for that. Once they start blooming and getting out there in the garden centers, I can't help it. I have to pick some of those up. But this year, I'm jumping in. I've done a lot of research online, and I've seen a lot of other great setups. One thing that was important to me was to keep costs low. So my setup today is going to be under $200 for my shelving unit, all of the lights I'm going to be using, and then the trays, humidity domes, underwatering trays, all of that. So I will unbox and show you what I picked up. And then, of course, there will be some additional costs related to starting seeds because I will need to buy some seed starting mix to put in my trays. And then, there'll just be some other things too that I will need to pick up along the way. But I'm excited to show you my setup, and I will link all of the items below that I use in case you're interested in getting something similar. I did go for trying to find the lowest cost. I knew that I had about 3 feet to work with behind me for my space against the wall. I have an outlet here, so I know I'll be able to plug my lights in, and I think I'm just going to get started opening up some of the boxes, and I will probably do a time lapse of putting everything together because it will take me a little while to do that. But I'll walk us through everything that I purchased at the end and show you what I have. And I'll let you know if there's some items I didn't know that I needed to make this work. So let's see what we've got and see what we end up with after we put it all together. here's what I have set up so far. So I got my shelf all set up so that I can put my trays of my seeds on here. And then I unboxed my lights, and these are 3-foot shop lights, and they come with a little chain to hang them from, but I found out that I didn't have any S-hooks or any way to connect them to these shelves here. They're not very heavy, which is great because I don't have to worry about them being too heavy on the structure. But I did order something else. Like I mentioned, I might come across the need for more supplies, and I did find out that I needed some S-hooks. So this is what I ended up getting. These, I think they're 2.5-inch S-hooks. Let's see if you can see them there. So one end is smaller, and I will probably hook the larger end up to the shelf and then be able to hook my chain for my lights on this way. So now I'm just going to go through and install my hooks on my shelf, and I'm going to do that consistently in the same location for all of these, if you can see. So I just need one on each end, and I'm just going to make sure to hook it in the same place so my light is level. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I think I'll hook it on the 4th link of the chain, and then that just hangs down like this. So these lights, as I put them into, I kind of put them back and forth each way, because what these lights do is actually connect, they chain to each other, so that I only have to have them plugged in one location, but they'll chain so that they can actually all be lit up because they're all connected together. So I am going to, I think I'm going to hang these first, and then I'm going to plug them all in, and I'll show you a little bit more about that. So first up, get all the lights hung up. I have my very first seed starting system all set up now here in my kitchen dining room area. And I'm going to go over with you a little bit about what I decided to get and how much it cost. So I am pretty proud of my final cost that I ended up with. Probably could have found things a little bit lower, but I found some good sales when I did buy what I did. So first of all, I have my shelving unit, and this is a 5-shelf metal shelving unit. It's 72 inches tall and it's 36 inches wide. So I was able to get also 3-foot long lights to hang here. And I thought that this was just kind of the perfect area, the perfect size of space to fit this in here. A lot of the shelving units were 4 feet and the lights were 4 feet as well, but it's just the space that I had. So I did what I could in this area. It does fit 3 of my trays on each shelf, and I only have 1 for the very bottom. So I think it's going to meet my needs okay. I am starting out a little bit small because I don't want to jump too far in without having a little bit of experience. So this is definitely going to be my experimental year of starting some seeds for the very first time myself. I feel like I'm kind of getting a little brave and jumping into that world. So we'll see how it goes. So the shelf was $56.99, and I thought that was a pretty good price. I did search around quite a bit. I got it from Amazon, and I tried to find one that was black. There are a lot of kind of shiny silver metal color shelves, but I didn't want it to stand out and be too bright. I wanted to kind of fade into the background, so I chose to go with the black color. The other thing that I got were the shop lights, and these are super bright shop lights. I only got 2 per shelf to start out with. Now, this is where I'm wondering if I'm going to need to buy 1 more pack of lights so that I have instead of 2 per shelf, I have 3 per shelf, but I'm going to kind of see how my seeds do with just having 2 of the lights per shelf, and I will kind of reassess and see if I need to purchase more. Part of the reason that I'm going to wait and see if I need to purchase more is because the lights that I bought are already $14 more per set of 4 than they were when I purchased them. So when I got them, a pack of 4 lights was $35.99. So for 2 of them, it was double that, $72. But now they are $49.99 for a 4-pack. So they might be on sale again by the time you're seeing this video. I would just kind of keep them in your cart and keep an eye on them because there are pretty good sales from time to time on these. I did get some with black ends on them instead of the white caps on the ends because, again, I thought it would kind of blend in and fade away and not stick out as much in my space since I have a dark color wall in my kitchen and dining room area. So these are 3-foot LED shop lights, and the reason I got shop lights is because they come with plugs on the ends of the lights, and I will show you here that this is how they connect. So I have my light plugged into the wall where the outlet is, and then that light is just one of these very bottom ones, and it plugs right into the light, or it's connected to the light. Now on the end of that light, it has a female end for a plug on it. So I kind of alternated back and forth my lights with which way I had them pointed. And so I just take the plug from the next one and plug it into that light. So that's what gives that light power. Then I go to the end of that new light that I plugged in and plug that cord into the light above it. Then I just go back and forth and chain them all together, and that's how I have them all lit up. So that was a big benefit of using LED lights, is that you can chain quite a few of them together without any problems. But the shop lights already come like that because when you put them on the ceiling of a shop, you want them to be able to connect and not to have outlets all over your garage to be able to plug each individual light in. So that really came in handy. The lights are something I'm not super confident in, but we will see how it goes. I'm going to test it out and see And then the other thing that I got that I found out that I needed after I started putting things together were some of these S hooks. So these are 2.4-inch S hooks. It came in a 30 pack, so I have some left over. And they're also black so that they don't stand out. They kind of fade into the background there. But you can see that I am able to hang the S hook from the shelving unit, and that way I'm able to hang the chain that came with my light right onto the S hook. And the reason that that's important, that I have an open end on the S hook, is because as my plants grow, I'm going to be slowly raising my light up as my plants get taller. So I want to be able to move that. And that's going to be really handy to be able to change the height of the light, just to change which link that S hook goes into. So you can see here how the hook that came with the light hooks right into the end of the light. It comes right out also, but then the chain just goes up and hooks on a loop. So I can extend that if I need it longer, or I can shorten it if I need the light taller. So that will come in handy as my plants start to grow. Fingers crossed that my plants will grow well in my new grow setup. This is a seedling seed starter tray. It came as a 10 pack. It calls it a mini propagator plant grow kit, but it came with all of these black underwatering trays. It came with the little actual trays where I do the planting of the seeds and put the soil in. And then it came with humidity domes for all of them. And they have these little movable tops on them where I can open and close the humidity dome. And then as my plants grow, of course, I'm going to be taking the dome off of them too. But I thought it was nice that it came with everything. This is a pretty cheap set. So I'm also going to kind of test out and see how this goes. And I might want to upgrade next year. But it was only $36.99 for the whole tray starter kit. And I get 10 of them. So it's going to be quite a bit for me to be able to plant in all of these. It's got 8 by 5. So these are 40 count trays. So I'll be able to plant 40 different individual plants in each of these. And there's 10 of them, so that's 400 seedlings. So that's quite a bit. The idea too is that I kind of start my seeds so that as some are growing and they get ready to be upplanted or taken outside and planted, I can start something new. So again, going back to my seeds, I need to get organized with figuring out what I need to plant and when, so I can start getting on that rotational schedule. Since I do have some limit in my space for my seed starting, I just need to be really smart about what I start and when I start it and when it's going to be ready to be planted out so that I can maximize this area. Oh, I think I forgot to mention too, the S hooks were $8.99. So in total, with the shelving unit, 2 sets of the 4 packs of the shop lights, for the S hooks that I needed, and for my seed starting kit with all my trays, my humidity domes, and all of that, it came to a grand total of $174.95. And if I'm looking at some of those name brand plants that can be $10 or more per annual, you know, that would only be 17 or 18 flowers purchasing out there. And even if they're half price, you know, that's only 30 or some plants. So if I'm able to be successful with my seed starting, not only am I able to plant a lot more varieties of different plants that I can get from seed, but I'm also going to be saving a lot of money. So fingers crossed that this setup works well for me. This year will be my test year to see how it goes. If you start seeds from home, please let me know down below how it goes for you. Kind of any tips or tricks that you might have for me that you can share with me. I am happy to hear your feedback and your suggestions on how this could be the most successful first year for me, since I have not done this before. So I'm used to purchasing plants from other talented people who start flowers, and this year I'm hoping to have a lot of success with doing it myself. So I think that's all I have for today. Wish me luck. I wish you all luck as you're starting your seeds, and rain or shine, I will see you next time.